Hi there, it's Lori, and my Saturdays are going to look a little different. I'm going to call them sharing Saturdays. So some of this will be about sharing, as in gifting somebody something, or being gifted something, or sharing, I don't know, whatever's on your mind. So, my sharing Saturdays. This one's going to serve a couple purposes. This Saturday, I'm going to share that I have two more items for. This one is actually a gift to myself. This item is from Turtle Trunk. And right now, my lovely, fantastic yarn bowl that makes nice noise does not make nice noise now because it has a bunch of junk in it. So I want to put all of that in this basket that I made for myself. Now, this served two purposes. Beyond, actually, I needed this. Well, three purposes. I'll say what that is in a sec. This is a Turtle Trunk pattern that was in Camille's Creations Happy Holidays Challenge. So, yeah, I keep putting entries in. But I keep making stuff, so it's not. And I keep making different stuff. Anyway, that's the first thing. Happy Holidays Challenge is about gifting, whether that's gifting, making things to gift to yourself or to others. And again, this is a gift to myself, and it's Crafting Kitty's Creator Spotlight. So she'll actually have a picture of this before this video goes out. I don't think she's going to get the video made or anything like that. This is the first time I think I've had 3 entries. And it's all because of Camille's Creations Happy Holidays Challenge, because they were all things from her. Oh, no, only 2 of them were from hers. One of them might be. Anyway. And I was really lazy. I'll show you. I was lazy. I got to figure out what I want to do about those ends there. I'll deal with them later. Not a priority. But another purpose of that basket was using limited edition. The unlimited edition. Okay, here's what I can say. It was interesting. It's not bad to work with, but it dried my hands out really bad. But it's super stretchy. I don't know. Can you see that? So if you had tight tension, this might not be a bad yarn for you to work with, because it has enough stretch that even if you had tight stitches, you could probably get back into the stitch and use that. So part of my yarn management is actually going to be caking this up because it was obnoxious. Oh, and I was holding 2 together because I didn't have big enough yarn. Still wasn't big enough yarn. This should be considerably larger than it is, because I was holding 2, what are these, 4 weights? 4 weights together, and I think she was using a 6 weight. So that would only be a 5 weight technically with 2 4s together. Anyway. So I'm using yarn that was gifted to me from another yarn. I need to use that. I did gift a bunch of that to my crochet club lady, who is incredibly community minded. That's the way I would describe it. So she is taking it to the women's prison, where they are crocheting with what she said are rubber hooks, which if any of you have ever seen one, I want to see what that looks like. Because like this, let me find a decent one. Like this part is silicone. That squishy part. This is plastic, and that would be too, for dangerous reasons, they wouldn't be able to have that in there. Anyway, so the other thing I finished, have not decided where this is going, but oh my gosh, I love it. It's so cute. By putting that belt buckle on there, it just shows it's like a little elf blanket. This is very much like it covers from my feet to my hips and covers across my lap. Truly a lap gown. I used all my green. I used all of a ball of this black, the only one I had. This, however, this was another yarn too, and this was another yarn. Let me show you what I did with it. I wrapped it around the yellow to give that belt buckle some bling, and I love it. Anyway, I think it's so cute. And the sheepy yarn was from another yarn. This is yarn from a while back, but again, I got to make space for all the yarn I've got now. I'm going to tell you now, my Yarn Management Monday is probably going to be just caking up yarn. I have so many partial cakes. Like, here's a partial cake. This, I'm going to cake up because I have thoughts. It looked like it was a center pull, but then when you pulled it out, it was actually an outside pull. It was real fun holding the two together. A blast. Loved it. Anyway. But again, the yarn is not bad. I was expecting it to be more obnoxious, I guess, is what I would say. So, more ball bands. This is enough to definitely do the trim on something. But it wasn't enough to do like another round around the blanket I just showed you. So, I'll get pictures eventually. This is going to its home here shortly. So I need to make a new one. I'm going to make a post. I already have 2 votes for the Good Luck Bear, which is green. But I'll post the 4 that are options. And that one, just so I can sit it up here on my shelf, because everybody loves that bear. That's the Happy Bear. So sorry. So sorry. Anyway, yes. Monday will be caking up yarn. It will be so much caking up yarn. And then also... I was negligent because, again, I focused on blood cancer awareness. I'm going to mention something else on that, too. But I neglected to actually acknowledge or talk enough about breast cancer awareness, which was October. Here's the thing. Cancer doesn't hang out in 1 month. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's not it's real life. It actually happened. It's not overly sensitive. It's just please be aware. You should be checking every month, whether you're a man or a woman. However you were born, like genetically, doesn't matter. Like your genetic makeup, you could be vulnerable. So here's what happened is a few years back, my husband felt a lump in his chest. I felt it and I said, you are calling the doctor immediately. So he got to experience a mammogram. He had to go to a special place where they did men's mammograms. So men obviously are less likely probably to get early detection because it's not something they notice. But it was him putting on his bulletproof vest for his job and where it was hitting or whatever. And he would notice the irritation. And yeah, I was like, you're going to the doctor. Anyway, so he had a mammogram. So he knows to some degree what that feels like. I think it's probably worse with like less there. It turned out it was just gynecomastia. Anyway, very common for men over 50. However, you don't ignore those things. So please, I don't care what gender you are. Check. Just make sure things feel the same. If you feel something different, go in. My mom was 60 when she had a mammo that she had breast cancer. In that, it was non-genetic. They caught it very early, but even then, from the time they found it on the mammogram to the time they did the surgery, they could have done a lumpectomy. I think that's what it's called, and she would have had radiation after, but she's like, I'll quote her. This is who my mom was. I don't need them. Just take it off. And she went with a unilateral mastectomy. But they said it was non-genetic, so I started getting the mammos at 40 and get one every year, and sometimes two, because I pay attention to my body. So, all of that to say, regardless of your genetic makeup, please just check if anything's abnormal. Now, back to this. This is my blood cancer awareness again. However, red, R-E-D, or R-E-A-D, if you're talking about reading, Jill from Fibrofloozy is doing red for dyslexia. So if you make a red item, R-E-D, R-E-D, it doesn't have to be entirely, but I think she said 75% or more red. She told me I could submit this, so I'm going to, because she was started in October. So it's for dyslexia awareness. Another thing that, especially people of older generations, this was not necessarily an identified problem for them. So they had to learn the hard way. Sorry, this is a very, like I said, it's Sharing Saturday, so it's a very serious kind of vibes. But I appreciate that my husband listens to me, and I appreciate that he was paying attention to his body, because I don't know that all men do. And so that's why I bring it up. And I'm grateful in a way that he knows what it's like to have to go through that lovely squish. Now, he only had to do it the one time. I get to do it every year. Like I said, sometimes more. If I'm like, something's not right, something feels different. Everything, I'm good. So far, so good. But be aware. And then dyslexia awareness, blood cancer awareness. There are so many. But breast cancer awareness doesn't just affect people with 2 X chromosomes. So get it checked out. And I know it's not my usual vibes, but I care about you all, and I want you to just pay attention. And even if you've had a mastectomy, you still have to check. So take care of yourselves. And thanks for coming in. I'm just going to leave it there today. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for listening. And I appreciate you all. And I care about you all. And I will see you tomorrow.